Hello and welcome to Money Talks with me, Alfred Joyner, and IB Times financial expert, Edmund Shing. Hi, Edmund.
Hi, Alfred.
Today we're going to be talking about the UK High Street, which is doing rather well at the moment, isn't it?
That's right, Alfred. I mean, if you look at total retail sales, they're up 3.9% year on year in September, which is a pretty good rate. And so people clearly are out there spending their money and, really starting to splurge on the high street.
And other than that, what are the main reasons why at the moment the UK High Street seems to be doing so well?
Well, I think there are several reasons. I think, the obvious short-term reasons are we've had a back-to-school season in September, so you will get the sort of school clothes and last-minute stationery buying. Also, the Rugby World Cup has had an effect on sportswear. And thirdly, and also in the food and drink category, obviously people have been maybe imbibing and eating a little bit more than they should have been while watching the matches. But also, there is an economic backdrop of very strong employment and incredibly strong wage growth.
With all those factors in mind then, how can the investor benefit?
Well, what I would say is if you look at the retail segment in the UK, there are really two parts. You can have the food retail part, Tesco's and Sainsbury's and Morrison's, or you can have what I call the non-food part, which is everything else, clothing, footwear and furniture. Well, if we take food retail first of all, I would actually argue against that a little bit, because that is much more of a value segment. It's a lot of pressure on the food retail sector right now from discounters like Aldi and Lidl. And so you find that Tesco, Sainsbury, Morrison have had a pretty hard time. Now, I'm not saying you can't buy those stocks, but if you buy them because you're a real value investor and you have a very long-term horizon. What I would focus on rather for this particular theme would be, as I said, footwear, clothing and furniture. Now, in particular, the two names I would focus on would be Next. Why Next? Because, of course, it's the number one clothing retailer in the UK, actually has had a fantastic record of growth historically, and also is surprisingly strong in things like homeware, and has a very strong online presence. The other one would be Sports Direct, which, as we know, is a pile 'em high and sell 'em cheap sportswear retailer, but is incredibly successful, also has a very strong online presence. And what I like about that, you have that link to the Rugby World Cup, so they will get a boost from the franchise clothing and from obviously selling rugby balls, amongst other things. So those would be my two key picks. Next, Sports Direct.
Very well then, so whilst the home nations might have suffered, the investor can benefit from the Rugby World Cup.
Exactly.
Thank you, Ed. And for the latest business news, go to our website, ibtimes.co.uk.